What is happening, everyone? It's GBall, and I have an awesome EDC knife here to unbox for you, coming in from Remette. This is a brand spanking new release for them, and I think a lot of you are really going to like this one. Now, if you've never stopped by before, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your carry is looking like today. The knife we are scoping out is called the Eligo, and there's going to be about 10 different versions of this knife on the initial release, and each one is going to come with a set of cufflinks. Now, that tells you that this is more of a gentleman style knife, and I happen to be a big fan of these types of designs, but this one is really refreshing. I also have a treat for some of you later on here in the video, but first let's take a close-up look at this Eligo here. Like I said, about 10 different variations that you can choose from, and they're all going to come in just under 200 bucks. I think 195. This is the all raw finish. I'll have a link down in the description. That way you can go over there and check out all the different versions they have and some of the new releases, because Remette is always coming out with something very cool. All titanium construction here, titanium backspacer and pocket clip. That's a nice design, should carry nice and deep. It is going to be left-hand friendly just based on this construction. It is a recessed liner lock with a front flipper. Jimping and height look good. Let's give this a first swing and a nice detent, and there is the refreshing part of this gentleman's design. It is actually a Tanto blade in M390, a beautiful stonewash. We don't see a ton of gentleman's knives with a Tanto blade, at least not in my experience. We have great access there to the liner, very easy to get to that and disengage. They even have a beautiful chamfer and stepping there. That way, that is comfortable, easy to get to. Excellent job on Remette's part. This is a very streamlined type of knife. This isn't my ultimate choice for a pocket knife, but I am a big fan of gentleman EDC knives. They have a great place, I believe, for people who are looking for something lightweight, streamlined, non-threatening, that type of thing. A gentleman's knife really fits the bill. This is a pretty non-threatening looking knife, especially when it's closed up. As far as our overall length goes, we're looking at 6 3/4 to the bottom of that pocket clip. Cutting edge is 2 3/4 inches. Total blade, we'll give it 3 inches overall. Now, as I'm bringing out these comparison knives, I am noticing more characteristics of the knife that I just didn't pick up initially, and that is the fact that this bad boy doesn't have any exposed hardware on the show side, no pivot, no body screws, and there's nothing on the backside either. What a clean looking knife this bad boy is. I'd love to see them scale this up though. Could you imagine something like this that's like 8.5, 8 3/4 inches? Oh, that would be excellent. Para 3 and PM2 out here for comparison, and the PM2 is much larger. Para 3 isn't much longer, but it is definitely a lot taller. And two more, we have the Katuo Woody up top and the Migron Knives Solora on the bottom. Now here's where we get a close-up look at this pocket clip. We'll use our 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank here, and look at that thing just disappear in the pocket. That is an excellent design by Remette. Keeps everything nice and clean, and that could pass for a premium pen right there. So if you're worried about how something looks in your pocket, this is a nice touch right there. Could easily be a pen. Very clean. It's left and right hand friendly. Good retention there on the way out. Nice grip, nice grab all the way out. So very good execution there. plenty of room to get that in a little bit thicker seams. That is one of the many things I love about Remette. They typically don't overlook these little details. We'll get the arch nemesis out here and give this bad boy a weight check. Now, I like to play a little game here on the channel with the new knives that come in. I attempt to guess the weight, and I always invite you to play along. You can put your guess down in the comments, ounces or grams, whichever you prefer. Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. And if you're enjoying this video, you like knives and gear, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. That way you never miss another video. I'm going to give it a go here, and I'm going to say it feels pretty light, obviously. Titanium, thin, slim. There is steel liners in there, or titanium liners, one of the two. It is going to be steel, which I don't have a problem with. Let's say that this is going to be 2.6. 2.6. Lock it in. Lock it in. 2.6. You put your guess down in the comments now. Here we go. Oh! Oh, I'll take that. That's light, though. 3 inches of blade, titanium handle, 2.2, 2.3 ounces. Whoo, 64 grams. That's pretty impressive considering titanium handles. You got steel liners in there, and it is a 3-inch blade. Now for the part that some of you care about and others of you skip right over because for some reason this is the most skipped part of the video. We'll get the calipers out here and get a couple of measurements on the handle and blade. 0.44 and 11.3 millimeters on the handle thickness. Blade stock is very thin, 2.48 millimeters, 97 thousandths blade stock. That is pretty thin. Able to open it lefty there. Let's get a look at the BTE. And in that particular spot with that particular hold, we're at 21.5. Let's go up here just to get a accurate measurement. 30 thousandths up there, so it thickens up as it goes to the tip, which is pretty standard stuff. That gives you a little bit more strength out there towards the tip. Now, you're not going to want to jam this into a wood crate or anything like that and try to pry it apart, but that will give you a little bit of added poking strength. Since we don't have a hardware check here, let's take a quick look at these cufflinks. Beautiful looking stuff. Those are going to be titanium. I'm almost positive they look like titanium. Yeah, that's stonewashed titanium right there. That is some good looking stuff. And see, that's Remette thinking outside the box. What else can we do with our knife release that gives it a nice touch? Now, how many people are going to use the cufflinks? Well, maybe quite a few people out there if this gets in front of the right people. But that is an awesome touch, an awesome throw-in with the knife. Now, we should have actually done an edge test before that, but that's okay. We can do what we want here. We have our catalog paper here, 30 thousandths behind the edge up here towards the tip, and it cleans up and goes to about 22 or so thousandths down here into that sharpening choil, which the sharpening choil looks okay. You experts out there can let us know, but the plunge does end right there. Should be good for a couple of sharpenings in my non-expert opinion. We'll see what we have here for the edge. That feels pretty good. Now, this isn't a knife that you're going to buy if you want something wheeler. That's good stuff. But you're not going to buy this to cut up 1,000 miles of cardboard. This isn't your ultra slicer. This is a gentleman's EDC. So just a daily user in a roundabout way, on a variety of different things. But not going to be a knife that you're going to do a ton of cutting with. It just doesn't make sense. Get the right tool for the job, right? But for the normal people out there, I think this would be an awesome, more premium-ended gentleman's knife. This is a nice place to be in. For some people, it's going to be a little too expensive, and for others, it's in the perfect spot, because the next step ahead of this, you could say, is like the $300 price point. Since these are just under $200, let's say it is $300. That's starting to get up there, $100 difference from $200, if we're good at math here. And that's quite a jump. And that's Pena level territory, Jack Wolf, that type of gentleman's premium EDC. And that's, I would say the next class above this, at least in price point. Remette offers very similar QC and fit and finish on their knives, like a Pena, like a Jack Wolf. You're going to get really good stuff from them, and it's going to be at a really good price. This has a futuristic aesthetic to it. I think it looks nice and clean. Depending on your hand size, you should be in pretty good shape. If you wear a medium or large glove, you will be just fine. I wear an XL glove, and I have plenty of room on that handle. Now, here again, this isn't something you're going to hold tightly out in the woods and use it to baton through a bunch of different logs. Okay, that's not what this is here. But for a casual cutter, a daily user, a very neutral handle should be just fine. I like this quite a bit. And for the people who want a little heft feeling with their knife, but they don't want it overly heavy, like 2.3 ounces with a titanium knife feels completely different than 2.3 with FRN or something like that. They just have a different feel. This gives you a solid feel in the hand, whereas carbon fiber or FRN G10 not going to give you quite the same feeling, even though it might be the same weight. Last thing we have to do here with old Eligo is introduce it to the spine whacker. Now, we don't do this test to see if you can hammer a nail into a tree with the spine of your blade or anything like that. We just want to make sure we have a good positive lockup, and that is sitting about 30%. I would say it's fairly early, but it looks like it's pretty clean, and we don't have issues from Remette. As far as I am aware, consciously aware, I don't think I've had a Remette fail this test. I could be wrong, but I don't think we have. And that's just a testament to their QC. If you are new to Remette, or you're new to the knife world, or both, I highly recommend going over to their website. They have some awesome designs, from gentleman stuff like this to it's on my nightstand. The Scepter is amazing. They just came out with the Orca, or it is coming out. By the time you're seeing this, it will be out. They've done a bunch of cool stuff, and they have an awesome budget line as well, worth checking out. So lots of cool stuff, different locking systems, different designs. They do a great job. They're not putting out, 6, 8, 10 new models every month, but they do put out, one or two every other month or something like that, roughly. Just kind of depends. But the stuff they put out is insanely solid, at least in my experience. Let's go ahead and we'll give this thing a couple of light taps. We'll start out towards the tip there. That puts a ton of stress on that lock. Light tap here just to get us going. And just because this is a gentleman's knife, it's thinner, it's sleeker, that doesn't mean it shouldn't have a good lockup, okay? Just because it's a lighter weight type of knife doesn't mean it should have a faulty lockup. That's one thing that people kind of misconstrue. Just because this is a liner lock, a lightweight gentleman's knife, doesn't mean we don't want a solid lockup there. It sounds good. 2 shots, and I think that sounds really good. Yeah, it does. Really good. No movement. Very good. Very good. Close it and check it. No movement whatsoever. That thing is rock solid. Very good. And that's with a lightweight gent knife that's a liner lock. Great execution on Remette's part. That is exactly what we're looking for. Doesn't matter the design, the materials, the lock. It needs to have a good lockup, a good strong lockup. And the Eligo here has just that. For those of you who hung around, I actually have a surprise for some of you. And when I say some of you, I am referring to the people who may struggle to get these types of locking knives in your certain area, right? People who can't have locking knives or don't want locking knives. They also, Remette, came out with a double detent variant. So this isn't going to have a liner lock. It is going to be on a double detent system. They even wrapped these so the clip wasn't scratching the handle in transit. These, however, are going to be a rear top flipper. So no lock with this guy. And that feels good. Ooh, that's a nice strong detent. Also comes with the cufflinks. Once this gets broken in, we should be able to fire that out and break the detent so it closes all the way. And these types of knives can be really, really fun. I keep wanting to go for that liner lock. There you go, see? As this breaks in, it's going to get nice and smooth. Same execution, handles, backspacer, pocket clip, the entire works. It's just this one is not going to have that liner lock. So you can treat this sort of like a traditional. It's going to have a similar effect. There is no lock. It relies on that detent for keeping the blade open. Can't do that. Just trying to see all the different ways to use this guy. Trying to figure out various deployments with this guy. So that's interesting. That's a pretty interesting design right there. So you almost have to be right up there on the corner. It's like a minimal rear flipper. Interesting that they did that. Interesting that they did it that way. So, same design, same handle, just a different opening method for the blade. They basically flip the blades around with that same handle and turned it into a rear flipper. Awesome stuff from Remette. And the double detent version does come with a couple of cuff links that are stone washed. You'll have to let me know what you think of the Eligo here down in the comments. What are you looking forward to from Remette? Have you picked up anything from Remette here recently? I always look forward to hearing from you. I will have links down in the comments over to their new releases. Do me a solid and hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to be sure you're going to see more dope knife and EDC content just like this, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. That way you never miss another video. I'll have a couple of new videos popping up on your screen you haven't seen yet. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. I love you. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.